Hello. So I don't really have much there's no editing put into this. I'm not really trying to be on some time. I just all have a Steam message. Oh my god. So literally, yeah. Doing this is just kind of important for me, and I think it's mostly important that it could help someone tremendously. Sorry, I'd sleep in my house. It could help someone tremendously that is probably that whenever I was going through this, I was thinking man, there has to be somebody else that definitely. And after I put out basically and mainly, excuse me, but this episode was brought to you by literally the petition that I made that somebody had told me to do. I think it was my friend's mom, but either way, I made that petition. And yeah, if you just want to take a look at that too, I'm not anyway. Just pause there and go look at it because it will blow your mind. I have eyelash mind. It will blow your mind. If anything, I was I'm pretty sure I got emotional in the sense of definitely you can tell. Today's a different type of yeah, excuse me, demeanor because talking about it sucks and reliving it, that's the part that I was I don't know how to articulate this, and I'm just gonna go at it. So that's where I start going crappy. I don't know. I just have a really random Beavis and Butthead sense of humor. That's the best way. I've been through some really unrelated but crazy shit in life, so I have to cope with shit in some type of way. But everybody copes with trauma differently and things like that. So anyway, that's just being funny. So like it was just important, excuse me. The last time it was really just mainly about noticing that I was supposed to be first of all, it was working at Papa John's. That's where it's I don't even care to say that name of the company because it's been so long. It's been at least 5 years ago since this was about 5 or 6 years ago now. It feels weird that it's 2024. It's anyway, but I'm also still waking up. But in this current moment, it's yeah, I have to take into account a lot of things that after starting medication that has helped tremendously since I've started therapy. But that was also in relation to not understanding fully from full swing of having BPDisms, but being in one of the worst situations that you could probably ever imagine, and just feeling so hopeless and just I don't know, like I wasn't gonna let me get me down. I wasn't going to let me get anyway. Let it get me down. I I don't want to say dyslexic, but I'm a little sleepy. So anyway, that's also and anyway. Try to go about it a different way. It helps me out with talking about it, putting this out there, and yeah, hopefully, especially with having crippling anxiety, it'll probably resonate with somebody, and it's you can kind of hear it in someone's voice. That's how I've been able to pick up on that and be oh, okay, cool. So anything that can depict that type of emotion, and it's really hard because being what neurodivergent or just a bunch of other things anyway, getting way past the point here, but yeah, basically. So it's difficult. It's hard. It's not easy, especially anyway. Yeah, just reliving it, thinking about it. I'm just doing this for the sake of hey, this might help somebody. Message in a bottle, and you know, it could help, and that's cool. That makes me feel better. I could go about my day. Honestly, those little small things, little bitty, minuscule, minute detail things like that mean so much to me. Anyway, so that's why we're here. Hi, hello. I don't really care about having some little anyway, but yeah. So excuse the background noise, but mainly I don't really care about this one being some type of anything. I like yeah, trying to like put the chapters into this. Sorry, this is my vape. Trying to like put this into chapters. It's like, okay, so we're just gonna break it down into what happened for me and then what I did about that situation. Like just like what I did, and here we go. And cause and effect situation, if you will. So it really was ending with being finding out with being that I was being owed money for working as an assistant general manager for Papa John's. So let me just go ahead and state that for the record, because I know I'm bad at that, and thanks for pointing that out. But no, seriously, really bad at that, because it's something I don't care to just dwell on. But yeah, when you have a crappy memory, it's kind of like that. That's how it goes. But was working as an assistant general manager, and for a couple of months, that's where I was just like, why is my paycheck? Anyway, recap. This becoming a recap for those that haven't seen me anyway. Just noticed my paycheck was not like reflecting as what I was supposed to be being paid as at the time. So just being a dumb 20-something-year-old, I'm like, okay, what gives? Let's look into it. And that's where the rabbit hole began, literally. Not to be punny, if anybody knows, but anyway, no, it's funny, but literally, the retroactive pay thing, and I like my earrings, by the way, they're from Claire's. They're like super cute. I had my I've only had two, and I just got my third ear piercing, so I'm like big girl over here. But no, when my friend's mom was like, you need to look into being retroactively paid, like, that's, yeah, big reality check, not only for that, but, yeah. So, doing the math for that, and it was like, you go into work the next day figuring out, like, I don't want to say that you feel like you've been betrayed, but you're like, okay, things are on a different note, and I don't really care about, like, the bullshit. It's just literally like, hey, what the hell? And, I don't know, anyway. So, I just remember, yeah, the dude that is the boss of the guy that promoted me, uh, he showed up to, like, just do his thingy at that day when I was able to get in touch with, like, physically to speak with this guy. I don't have, like, a desk clamp. I don't care yet. But literally, this dude is, like, I can't remember not, anyway, operations manager or something like that. Anyway, not the store manager, but something along the lines of somebody above that person. So, like, district manager, maybe, something like that. But, this dude was supposed to, like, the main point is just like, when I spoke to him, I was like, hey, and then I said the word retroactive pay, as he was like some people that work as an employee for this specific place know kind of like the casualness, the candidness of just somebody, like, if I could just have like a mouse right now, this is literally like, you be talking to a manager, and that's just like any situation, but you just see like the side of their head and shit, and it's like, hey, what the hell? My rent money's about to like go out the window and stuff. Like, what? So, and then as soon as you say something like, huh? Like retroactive, that's what happened essentially, and I was like, I felt bad. That's where it starts to become in like the anxiety of like, oh shit, like, I'm not even trying to piss dude off. I just want the hell is promised to me in the first place. Like anybody would be rightfully, I'm sure, pissed off about it. But so I just kind of like was speaking to him like, hey, can you take a moment to look into this, because I feel like there's a mathematical error or something like that. That's all there was. So I had to like be babied throughout this whole thing because, dude, like, yeah, this is something like not anybody. I guess if you either have the balls to, and that's not to, yeah, anyway, but either that or it's just like, you know, I don't want to talk shit about like people that just the cash grab situation. So it's like, yeah, when you have the balls, but it's like you know you're gonna be just met with like so much of prejudice. I don't know. It's like, oh god, but no, you're gonna be met with a lot of like shit in terms of people wanting to just silence you. There's even one person on the petition that was like, it was just sweeping under the rug and things like that. So essentially, after I told this dude that I was wanting him to look into that, he was just like on the computer, but it's like, you know, had kind of had his attention after I said some kind of like, you know, big word for a little girl like me. But will I be retroactively paid for this? I tried to write this. I remember making sure to write this down as accurate as it like went down in real life. So it's like that's how the conversation went. It's like, well, I will be retroactively paid, and I was like, I explained the initial date of my promotion. Ask, they may have been like a mathematical error that was not reflecting my promised wage. So, uh, bro just goes kind of like, I'll talk to dude about it, the guy from payroll. And that's where I was like, this is the main thing that's important to take away from this. It's stressful for me to relive, but I'm doing it for those that probably might need to hear it, so whatever. Um, he didn't offer any paperwork or like just any type of like thing to document that, so it was the one thing that was like, it got real sketchy. And I'm sure for a lot of people that also work for the same company have been through a lot worse. Yeah, so I'm so sorry. Again, like it breaks my heart that this is something that just still happens because there is somebody that had signed the petition within the last this month of April, and then somebody before that like commented on it. So like they commented and put this whole like, it's real. It's not like, anyway. This is just something to put out there and whatever. Um, Essentially, after that, it's like we're just gonna end it right there. But with the it gets, well. I mean, we can keep going honestly, but I don't know. That's where the anxiety is starting to like eat at you and stuff, and fuck it, I don't care. But it's really just the main thing to make sure, like, anyway, I'm gonna go back and make sure just to timestamp this. Take away from it is that you make sure that you, after you like, you know, ask for, like, let's say like something sketchy starts to begin like that, and you start to, yeah, see that, like, I don't know what I'm trying to word it as, but anyway, excuse me. Um, if they don't really follow up or just, I know most places are, they're not really supposed to give a shit. That's really the part where I'm like, I know I sound bright-eyed, bushy tailed. Let me just acknowledge that real quick in the room. I know that's very much in the room. I like to embrace my childlike stuff, so I'm anyway. Literally, this is mainly getting into the point where after I'm asking this dude that is, I feel like supposed to be concerned. So this is my naivety probably just getting the best of me, but essentially, I'm like, yeah, like, I don't want to say like I was one of those employees that like I worked my ass off. I really did. Like, I didn't really care about trying to be some, like, 10 out of 10 employee or something of the month type shit, but it got to where I was just challenging myself, where that became, like, not only monetarily, like, for me, just a job, but real life skills to gain from that as a nerdy person with anxiety and stuff, because you gotta talk to the public, you gotta answer phones, and especially, man, this one crazy time is a random story, but this one dude, man, like, this literally happened, and, like, while I'm sitting here alive and well, I have to share this. It's, this poor dude was picking up pizza, and he had his little sister next to him. She's probably, like, at the time, I'm trying to remember this is, like, after my stepfather passed away, and that was, like, a very traumatic situation. So after that, processing things like this, I was like, okay, this is that took a left turn. But anyway, that's my humor. That's just literally my humor. So anyway, I can't do this. I gotta keep it on this line. But anyway, I'm not laughing at this dude's situation. I'm laughing at myself because I didn't know how to react, and thankfully there was a person that was working in the same shift that time. She had literally gotten back. She was a delivery driver, and she happened to have, like, some fireman training or something. Anyway, I don't know if it was, anyway, whatever. But she seemed to know what to do with the situation, because basically this dude, like, I remember I was the person too. I'm laughing at myself because I'm just sitting here like, and dude was asking to pick up his pizza, and then I'm like, okay, what's the name, and da 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 da. Normal business, nothing out of the usual. Sorry, I'm just achy and I don't care. It's Sunday. Happy Sunday, by the way. So other than that, it's, like, mainly that his little sister just dropped into a seizure, and it was his reaction that, like, sent me, but also the main concern was, okay, what do we need to do about her? I actually do remember now what I was doing. I didn't take his order, or was picking it, like, it wasn't like, doing the transaction. I remember I was taking someone's phone order. I was taking and I was like, sir, I'm going to have to put you on hold because there is somebody that is having a seizure in the lobby, and they were just abruptly, like, they let me just, because I even felt bad just to, just no context and no hold. I had to say something anyway. I'm just laughing at myself, so I'm not laughing at that. Literally, this poor dude's reaction, I mean, is anybody would, they're like younger sibling, you'd be freaking out, and rightfully so. This dude was like, I don't know what to do, and he's panicking, so I reached for wherever direction that homegirl was in, that I was like, hey, she's got fireman. I remember, anyway, that she instantly came to mind. This is inside of a Walmart, too, by the way. So, the quickest anything, I was like, maybe her. If not, I'm going to go run to the, like, whatever desk of something. So, literally, I know I keep saying that a lot. It's just, that event right there, I just remembered that. And, I ran and grabbed the those bags that you put your pizza in, that's like, that keep them warm, that basically, like, delivery drivers, it's like the hot bag is what they're called, but anyway. And we grabbed a couple of those and just rushed over there and put it underneath her head so she could have something to, like, rest on her head, because she had, like, hit the floor. And that person was still on hold, believe it or not, too, by the way, for those that are wondering. They were like, is the person okay? And I was like, yeah, we got the situation assessed. We're figuring it out. But there's definitely, like, there was personnel present and things like that. So we're just today taking a different swing at things in terms of, like, okay, let me just go ahead and just I don't care. This is for me, and just get this out there. But yeah, so yeah, I remember that happening, and that was wild. So, anything that I was saying prior to that, I don't think really that was, just trying to make sure that really for the sake of watching this, because it gives me a headache being like, at that point though, once I had kind of, I mean, I'm sure it was just a normal thing anyway, just like people showing up late to work and things like that's not even something that's like bothering me. That's like pointing it out, to have to point out either to say aloud. Let's see. Yeah, cause like it gets to the point where there's some things that's like I understand, like it can be argued or argumented, and I took philosophy, and yeah, so that's why my brain's like I can go into some thesaurus stuff. But anyway, the next thing was mainly the next paycheck that I had gotten. So anyway, make sure I know where to stamp. The next pay stub that I had gotten, I'm just kind of summarizing it, that it was definitely no correction to it, but not only that, I think yeah, there's a number that is usually written if you're working at a specific store. There's always used to be, I guess. I don't know what I was trying to say. There needs to be. I don't even remember now. I'm tired, but anyway. Usually, I think that's what it's like. Usually, there is a number. 80 day for the win. Usually, there is a number that you should be able to contact the like higher ups. So, for instance, like you're scared shitless because like another funny, really not even a whole story, but like I opened when we had like one of those hurricanes that hit and the power went out. So I had to figure out what to do, who to hit up, what actions to take, and all that fun stuff. There was no training manual for that whatsoever. If you have one, then be glad. But no, it's just funny because excuse me, sorry. When that happened, I was just like, okay, thank God we got this dude's number. Not only, but when this situation started to happen, that's where I was like, I really don't like the fact that like you gotta call somebody, and for a situation that is also affecting you when you're getting paid, you're not getting paid as right. You're not getting paid as much. You're starting to like it's starting to affect you literally, and you're gonna have to start calling that person. That's another thing that's just like don't feel bad about that either, about asking for documentation, or when it gets to the point where you're gonna have to start like just calling just once a week. You're not harassing anybody, and especially you're just trying to get something rectified. Anything like it's just like frustrating as hell. So anyway, it's something as simple as like, hey, even if they don't answer, just like leaving a voicemail and saying like, hi, just following up because I haven't heard back from you, and yeah, like because there's a lot of that for me essentially. So the I was trying to remember this. This wasn't when that probably the process had started. So that's when I started to learn chain of command. So anyway, my friend's mom was telling me like that's when you got to go through this person. And anyway, I didn't just there's no like website of just there was, and a lot of people probably win a lot of lawsuits, but like this isn't for that. This is for those that like that's actually it's justifiably like some bullshit, but like this is when I had gotten paid, and I had already gotten paid. I had called that dude because the phone number that I'd gotten when the hurricane happened. Anyway, that was crazy. called and I basically was just like, hey, I just kind of was like, what gives? There's nothing that nothing has changed. I don't remember what I said, but I was like, hey, there's nothing that like there's no correction to it, and that's when you start to feel this like these are people I wouldn't give a shit about, like in terms of like I'm not talking shit about them or anything. I'm just like, okay, this is just a job too, but also this is like your livelihood. Like I know you don't give a shit, but wow. Okay, so anyway, in terms of almost being homeless, this dude goes, he had spoken with payroll person, and he says that they cannot pay me retroactively. And I was like, can you explain this so I can understand? Because I, being scared shitless and being a nerd, I will just crumble and fall under the pressure of literally being like, oh shit, I don't know what else to say. Because when you do that, like, I need to speak to a manager shit, I don't. It's too stressful, bro. And after doing this, it's essentially this process, but like you had something happen to you and something needs to be fixed about it. So like, just without the haircut, I don't know. Listen up. So anyway, literally, I know I keep saying that. I was just like, my friend's mom was just like, yo, just say like, she's like over it. She's over my shit. She's like, just say like, can you just explain it a little bit better? Like I'm having trouble understanding, and that's where I do have trouble, and it's hard for me to articulate that because nobody wants to sound stupid. Nobody wants to say straight up like, hey, I don't understand what you're saying. Who cares? So at that point, yeah, he goes, since my initial promotion, that's the reason why I cannot be retroactively paid. He didn't say that, but it was like, it it began in the middle. My promotion began in the middle of a work week, which was like, okay. Um, to walk away with that answer, I didn't. Overtime to somebody that's like 18, 19, some years old, I'm like, I don't really care about overtime, honestly. I'm just trying to, live. Essentially, there was just like this dude didn't give like a definite answer or nothing. Like it's not like yes I can help you and anything like that. It's like essentially the math was there and it's just stressful to relive it. That's mainly it. And at some point I was just like, yeah, I asked, hey, may I have dude's phone number? That is his boss. For some reason, that's where the chain of command started to happen. Uh, Essentially, because yeah, I was starting to have to leave that dude a voicemail, and I believe I just probably forgot to like throughout all of this. I'm like right now like anyway just I'm not I'm trying my best, but anyway. So I remember I was going to see a show as I was on the phone, but I was visiting some previous coworkers that were in this kind of same vicinity where the show was. So anyway, it was like whatever, why not? Before I went, that worked at the same Papa John's. So it's kind of crazy. Anyway, how this came to unfold, how it played out. uh, so I was like, can I have your boss's phone number essentially? And this is the regional manager's phone number that I'm basically asking for. And at that point, I just put, he's attempting to interrupt me. I don't even remember what he was saying. I remember exactly, that's where it just, I was like, I remember where I was at the time. So he agrees very calmly after I try to just ask again. So I was just like, may I please have his phone number? may I please have his phone? And I know that's where the Karen situation is totally happening. So, yikes. And at some point, this was same day, different phone conversation because we're trying to get in touch with payroll essentially. So that's the whole point of all this is just to get in touch with the dude from payroll to say, hey, do you know if this reflects the right, like what's going on with this work week, and from what I was promoted to, does that wage reflect what I was supposed to be paid, because it feels like it's short. So that felt like it was literally not even just like pulling teeth or something like that, but like this ain't even. This is where I'm just gonna end it on this one. But yeah, literally, I was just like, can I please have his phone number? Can I please have his phone number, please? I didn't do it like out of desperation, but it was like I know they want you to get so stressed out you just want to give up. So to undermine that, it's just like I know something happened, something was up, something was wrong, and if somebody doesn't want to take accountability or be responsible for it, then like I'm just gonna figure out what to do about it. That's it. And that's just funny because I'm sitting here thinking of like Karen's like wreaking havoc on a McDonald's or something. Literally, anyway. Um, I'm just remembering how I was sounding like a broken record. I'm like, may I please have his phone number? May I please have his phone number? And eventually, dude was like, okay, here. Like, I think like he was very, like his tone had changed. So that was like my first introduction into like that type of heated conversation with somebody. In I don't want to say professional setting, but I guess so. Yeah, in the professional world. So as I was calling the regional manager dude, I basically just told him the same thing that I told the store manager and told this dude that I had to like kind of basically Karen payroll or regional manager, because that dude's phone number is not written at the store. It's just district manager, first guy, anyway, phone number. And this dude, yeah, like I believe it might be somewhere, but anyway, yeah. This is the guy that runs like I think the whole state. He looks over the whole state or something like that, like entire state. And it was. I remember he cuts me off, and that doesn't make me mad. I just wanted to put that in there because I was like, this is how this person treated this conversation. Like once they were kind of met with like, hey, you're caught. What? Not what you gonna do about it, but it's like, anyway, cowboy outlaw situation. But no, and sorry, literally, I can't wait to get a desk clamp. This is my motivation, but no. I just want this part to be as like motivation for somebody that probably has gone through this, and just know that you're not alone. So I'm talking to and this is literally how it's so ironic. I'm wearing this shirt, but also like, yeah, this is, oh my god, just disassociating. I guess this is what's happening. He goes, I understand. He cuts me off. I understand, and here's the thing: we're technically not supposed to retroactively pay our employees. I am only doing this out of the goodness of my heart because I see you work very hard. And I always just say that like verbatim because I remember that was when my mind just started to go record, like press record. And my stupid ass was like, I wish I had a way to have that phone call recorded. And I didn't, I don't know if the time, this is like 2017, I think. 2017. Yeah, I think. And, this was before this was about to happen, I'm already having this thought like, I wish there was somebody just else listening. This somebody else listening to this right now. It's just even if it being recorded, it's fine. I don't care. But like, damn, uh, I've never heard of anything like that. I don't know much about that kind of shit, and so it's just kind of like you. Anyway, uh, I go, is there any way I can like speak to somebody to just have the situation rectified? I kept saying that word for some reason. That's just fixed. Have the situation looked into, anything like that, reprimanded. I don't know. And I remember, I don't know if this is how it happened. Like just saying it like this. Like, is there anyone that I can talk to that instantly sounded like a Karen? This is why I wish this was recorded. And so ironic. I'm taking a hit of my vape. He goes, after I'm like, can I speak to somebody? I don't want to scream it because that's how loud this dude, like, when somebody's like, I can't hit that hard, but that's how it felt. Anyway. And, he just goes, you're not going to get the strong arm on this one. And I think he said, like, young lady or something like that. Like, it was so, like, alright. And there we go. So, after that, too, there's one, like, right here. It's like, yeah, we're leaving as soon as I get here. Somebody, like, that's when the shit just started to just happen. And I was like, damn, I started some trouble. And with that, like, yeah, I hope that helps with somebody that's like, probably struggling in that department because it's all about really coming down to being persistent and like just don't give up, literally. So, anyway, hope that helps. See ya.